Welcome to the walkthrough of frequently made mistakes that I observed when reviewing submissions for my CS5253 class in fall of 2022. Let's start with a couple of high-level comments. First, please document your code thoroughly. In particular, each aggregate operation should have a comment explaining what it does. Second, please format your code consistently. In other words, put each aggregate operation on its own line with the dot first. And then also, please don't delete the to-do tags. It makes it harder for me to review the code. So let's start by talking about some of the issues I saw with the perform crawl method, which is really the entry point into the web crawler. Please don't use arrays.asList here, followed by the .stream method. Instead, just use stream of on the page URI. That's more simple. Second, please make sure you use the right type of OR operator. You want to use logical OR, not bitwise OR. And also, I think there's a bug in the code here as well. In addition, please just call map to int, not map, followed by map to int with the integer int value method reference. That's unnecessary. You'll see a bunch of comments like that below. This filter expression can be simplified significantly, so you don't have to have these question mark false, colon true type things. Still moving on with problems with perform crawl. I think this condition expression may be incorrect, but please make sure everything is passing the unit tests to make for sure. Also, please get in the habit of not creating local variables just to return them at the end of the method, but instead just return the result of the entire stream. And of course, you can cast it if you need to. You can combine these two filter calls into a single filter call, a little bit more concise. And please use find first and or else here instead of using sum. And I think you may be able to change map to int as well, just to map, but double check that. Again, please don't declare local variables, but just return the result of the stream. Please use a method reference here instead of a lambda expression. Please use the object's non-null method reference instead of a lambda expression. It's more concise and easier to read. And also here, please use map to int rather than map followed by map to int integer int value. And also, please avoid the use of sum. Instead, use find first and or else. This particular code has some really strange behavior. Please don't have two calls to filter. Just have a call to map that uses Java's ternary operator to differentiate between images and pages. And then make sure you handle those properly in the appropriate portion of the question mark colon operator. And you can see down here for process page, please use get page elements as stream instead of get page elements dot stream or get page elements dot parallel stream. We'll get the parallel stream calls later in the next assignment. We don't need it right now. Please use the Java ternary operator here instead of an if-else statement. That'll allow you to get rid of these extra curly braces as well, which are unnecessary. And please use map to int to avoid having to make the call to integer int value. I'm not really sure what's going on here, but this is weird, so don't do this. This particular implementation of process page is incorrect because it's not passing the right parameters to get page elements as stream. You have to make sure you pass in the parameters to get both pages and the images. And this code is also not handling page and image links properly, so you have to go and change that. I recommend using the ternary operator here again. More problems here. We don't need a local variable I, which is then return. Just make an expression. And if you do that, then you can get rid of these crazy, unnecessary open and close curly braces that you see kind of cluttering up the code here. Once again, please get in the habit of not making local variables, but just returning the result of the entire stream. Also, please call get page elements as stream and passing in the right parameters. Instead of duplicating this code, please use the Java ternary operator here. This will be much cleaner. This code is just way too complicated. You should be using map to int here, and then that'll allow you to use sum instead of using reduce with sum. And all this code is also redundant. You can get rid of that if you handle the differences between links and images properly, or pages and images properly by using the ternary operator. Going on with issues with process image. First of all, please make sure that you format your code consistently. So this should really be like this. So everything looks consistent. And of course, you should have a comment here that explains what you're doing, basically converting the URL into a stream. Please use a method reference here instead of a Lambda expression. And same thing goes for down here. And also, I'm not sure why get or download image is being called yet a second time. That's unnecessary. That was already called up here. And so there's no need to do it down here. And please merge the use of map and map to int to be just map to int, so you can get rid of having to call this integer : int value method reference. Now we're finally down to the last couple of problems. This is with transform image locally. Please replace the first call to map with a call to filter. And I'm not sure what you're trying to do here with m transforms get sub 0, but don't use that. Instead, reference p, which is the parameter that's passed from filter in this particular case, if you call that right. I'm not sure what this local variable is doing here, but please get rid of it. And please split the call to map into a call to filter, followed by a call to map. Please use the object's non-null method reference instead of using a lambda expression. I'm not sure why transform image locally is being called again recursively. That's unnecessary and quite incorrect. You'll probably get infinite recursion also, which we don't want. So make sure you run the unit tests and look for problems like Stack Overflow. And then finally, please replace the call to collect here and followed by size with a call to count. And that's a much simpler way to do things and also the correct way to do things. So those are my comments that I observed when I reviewed people's assignment 1A submissions. Please make sure you address my comments for your next version, which will be assignment 1B. And also, please ask questions on Piazza and/or in class or office hours if anything that I've discussed here still leaves you with questions. Thanks.